When you think back to ninth grade, what comes to mind? Academic triumphs, a kind and loving community, the best year of high school? Yeah, me neither. And we're not alone. Ninth grade is hard. You're at the bottom in a new place. And for the first time, it counts. It's no wonder that compared to every other grade level, ninth graders have the worst attendance, the lowest GPAs, and the most misbehavior. But then again, we didn't go to Telstar High School's Freshman Academy, or TFA, near Bethel. Here, ninth graders head to their own campus apart from the other grades. Every single day, they build, they explore, they work together on real-world projects that combine English, social studies, science, and outdoor leadership. They're learning deeply, they're figuring out their path forward, and they're having a year they'll want to remember. This all started more than a decade ago when John Elliott noticed his ninth grade special ed students were really struggling in the classroom. Then he started taking them off campus.
We started building bridges, we started making trails. These concrete walls are a barrier for a lot of students, and if you can remove them, you really can get deep.
Elliott was soon convinced that his approach could be a game changer, not just for his ninth graders, but for all ninth graders. Elliott found an educational soulmate and partner in Ryder Scott, who had a great location for an off-site ninth grade academy, just 10 minutes from Telstar, Maine's 4-H center at Bryan Pond.
So the school district was trying to address similar challenges to every school district in the state. Student engagement, attendance, graduation rate. So the vision was to design a program that would be both academically rigorous and engaging, interdisciplinary.
You need to be able to communicate scientific learning in 3 different formats.
And then combine all of that with a real nurturing environment that was to some degree separate from the school building. So our goal really was to change the narrative about what ninth grade really is.
TFA may be facing their greatest challenge with this cohort, the Telstar class of 2028. This group has been told repeatedly,
God, you guys are the worst class I've ever seen.
They've left a wake of teachers retiring and quitting.
Yeah, they went through the list, good thing, who they had gotten to quit, who they had gotten to cry.
So the reputation was deserved, kind of?
Yes, actually. It was very deserved.
Can a high school really send all of its ninth graders off campus for the whole school year? Can it get them to work together, to listen to each other and do important work? Even the dreaded class of 2028? Let's learn more. The first thing you'll notice about TFA is the setting. It's beautiful. And the ninth graders have a swath of the Maine 4-H campus all to themselves. Their campus is off in their classroom. TFA science students study erosion through a nature walk. In outdoor leadership, students learn to build fires as part of their preparation for a year-end, full-class, overnight canoe trip.
As we get ready for our camping trip, one thing that we're going to talk a lot more about is leave no trace.
TFA ninth graders culminate their climbing unit with a team competition inside their barn. TFA student Eva describes herself as not very outdoorsy, but today she is all in. First, it's on knot tying.
Crushed it. And then it's just BAM!
Then, it's helping her teammates on belay.
Okay, you are almost there. Trust me, you are almost there.
Finally, it's her turn.
Oh, Jesus. Ding, ding, ding!
TFA English teacher Doug Bennett sees the impact of students climbing walls in his English class and beyond.
Starting to realize piece by piece, oh, this is fun. Not only is it fun, but I can do it, I'm fine, and I like it. Really just piece by piece builds that confidence in them, and they apply it to everywhere.
Projects with real audiences and purposes are another hallmark of TFA. In Mr. Bennett's class, students are focused on a digital story project in which students have to answer questions like, who am I? How do I learn best? What is my impact? Eva's excited because in this project, she'll get to tell the world all about her beloved 7 children, her guitars.
My first one, the firstborn, is Cinderella, named after the band, and she is a Steve Vai Ibanez, bright pink. She's still my favorite guitar.
Eva won Telstar's Winter Carnival Talent Competition this year. No small feat for a 9th grader who started playing in 7th grade. Eva's classmate, Zach, will be centering much of his digital story around another interdisciplinary project TFA completed earlier this year, Think Tank. It's a group project centered on science and social studies. Zach explains the challenge his team faced.
It was a project where we had to solve a problem across the world with limited amount of resources.
So, what do you call this thing, Zach?
I call it the stunning Tamela.
The stunning Tamello. What is a Tamello?
I have no clue.
That's what this is. It's a stunning Tamello, obviously. What makes it stunning?
Just the idea of it.
Zach and his team did have a stunning idea to design a metal gasifier that would lead to healthier, pollutant-free cooking in rural Ethiopia. The experience sparked a new passion for Zach, engineering. Why would you want to be an engineer?
Because stuff like this could really impact how people live and change the world around you.
Zach was not always so positive about his future or school. His view of his time in middle school is blunt.
So it was just dreadful.
But now,
I actually want to engage in the class conversations and apply learning in the classroom. I end up actually doing the work instead of just messing around all day.
Zach attributes half of his transformation as a student to doing work he finds meaningful, and half to something else.
Well, it's a lot better because I have a way better relationship with the teachers.
I heard that same message repeatedly at TFA. Students' respect and even affection for their teachers inspired better results. Here's another student, Travis.
The teachers have beautiful personalities. If you have a problem, they'll help you, and the assignments that they give are very interesting.
TFA's 4 teachers work solely with TFA students, and they intentionally model the collaboration and the kindness they expect from their students. Eva admits to being a TFA convert, even though she spends most of every school day just with 9th graders.
Oh, I was dreading it. I think the teachers definitely helped out a lot with that. Everybody's gotten a lot closer with each other. Like, everybody's finally growing.
Our main goal is to make them good people.
It's not just teacher-student, it's, we're more like a family.
Before heading back to Telstar for lunch and last block, TFA students end the day as they started it, in a circle.
It was a pretty considerable number of folks that climbed higher, and they climbed all through the climbing units.
I was so inspired by what I'd witnessed at TFA that I decided to take on one of my greatest fears, albeit with TFA's trademark community support.
You may see a 59-year-old guy cry. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Okay, it may be happening.
So we got you, you're not gonna fall, you're not gonna die. We're actually really trustworthy.
The climb caused me some primal regression.
Oh, this is frightening.
Travis caught up with me afterwards and shared that at first he too only climbed halfway up, but recently he'd made it to the top.
I feel there is hope for Derek if you keep persevering.
Even me?
Yes, even you.
9th grade can be a make or break year. It's the first time that grades count and homework matters. Increased responsibility coincides with increased freedoms, and increased social demands, and increased hormones. This collision can lead to what's been labeled 9th grade shock, and 9th grade academic struggles can cause what researchers have called aspirational foreclosure, a debilitating, lasting belief that life's options are limited. Nationally, students who fail more than one class in 9th grade aren't likely to graduate. But at TFA, any course failure is rare. TFA counters the daunting challenges of 9th grade with deliberate efforts to expand their students' sense of what they can achieve and who they can become. The digital story is a case in point. It's one of Telstar's 7 Peaks, an annual rite of passage where each Telstar student, grades 6 through 12, engages in some form of self or future exploration that results in a public culmination. As Principal Elliott notes,
Let's see what makes you proud of who you are.
the culmination for the digital story takes place with a premiere of each kid's creation at the Gem, the local movie theater, and the whole community is invited. Eva's digital story depicted her growth as a person through her growth as a guitar player. She even had the courage to juxtapose her first recording with her most recent. Zach's movie started with some earnest reflections on his growth.
Learning as a person has always been kind of difficult for me, as it seemed very overwhelming and stressful at times. But when it comes to TFA, I've noticed a big change.
After TFA, Zach now sees his path forward.
To succeed in the engineering world, you need to be able to problem solve, have some technical expertise, and other soft skills like good communication, good teamwork, and leadership qualities. Those are some skills that I think I possess and would excel in.
The digital story, like TFA itself, has nudged Eva and Zach to improving and demonstrating the best versions of themselves. TFA hasn't just been life-changing for the students, but for their teachers too. Kelly Dole remembers first hearing about the plans for TFA in 2014. At the time, she was Telstar's longtime 9th grade science teacher.
I was like, what the heck are you talking about? I'm not doing that. I thought it was the worst idea ever. Now I would never want to go back into a classroom and do what I used to do by myself. I would never want to. There's so much more freedom and creativity down here.
You know, TFA is for everyone. I think this type of outdoor and experiential learning is even more important than ever.
I love TFA, I love the whole program. You speak to these kids that have gone through this program, I'm telling you, they're different. They have a different sense of respect, they have a different sense of responsibility, they have a different sense of loyalty to their fellow peers. Students work better together.
Jocelyn, a Telstar senior, is a great example of her principal's point.
Being at TFA, not being in like a normal high school building, I think that made people more eager to learn. We weren't like the scared little freshmen. We had this trust like for the first time from adults, and so I think that we all appreciated that.
School gets such a bad rap in people's heads because I'm like forced to go and I gotta sit in a chair and I'm in this place and it feels like prison. And here, they learn that learning is all the time, everywhere.
Maine has 3 4-H learning centers around the state, and there are more summer camps and high schools in Maine, over 140. Might there be a way for other communities to launch their own version of TFA? Well, here's what Zach thinks, a member of the cohort formerly known as the worst class ever.
I think schools all around the world should have more things and opportunities like TFA.
All right, take.